Welcome back to Space Haven and this new Let's Play series. We are in a far better state now than in the previous playthrough, that's for sure. So I did start with a space station beginning, which gave me an additional crew member. So I took the liberty of actually giving me 2 additional crew members. And then I also found one more crew member in the first solar system in a cryo bed, so that was nice. I'm currently in system 3B here. Haven't started this yet. I've basically strip mined all of these 3 systems, but I haven't bothered doing much salvage this time because, nah. As I explained in my 10 things thing, the salvage is only for emergencies, and we have plenty of items to make the basic blocks. I've also rearranged the resource display settings so that I can see the most critical resources, which to me seems to be ice and energium, rather than water and energy rods, even though those are also critical. Or rather, these are the critical ones. You want to make sure that you have enough of the base materials over the actual materials, since each of these equals 5 of these. So most of these other stuff that is down here after the weapons are just items that it would be as far down the list as possible. I also took great care to design the ship this time, even going to the length of actually going into Excel and drawing it outright there. So this is what the ship looks like. Now, you can see we have the bedrooms behind here. We have room for 1 more crew member, so we can go up to 8. Our crew this time consists of Arakel, Catherine of Sky, Ms. Matrix, Peps, Tunefix, Wally, and Sydney. And Tunefix was the one that we picked up along the way. I believe he has bloodlust. He relishes the sight of blood and mayhem. I have 3 cryo beds here, and I have 4 of them here. These 2 rooms are reserved for prisoner area, in case we should want that. The generators are in the middle of the ship, and as you can see, 2 of them is what I have, and that actually is more than sufficient to run the ship. We have the bridge up here. Instead of having a straight line like that, I've opted to go with this more tiled approach so that I could get things down like here. And I do believe Gizmo or Lillipus is having quite fun inside a cardboard box. Of course, that is the way of cats. I have 2 shuttles here. I have 2 pods here. I have 2 hull stabilizers, 4 energy turrets, and 2 shields. I'm not bothering with the scanner. I also have, inside the shield rooms, I'm also using those as combined shield and grow bed rooms. So the vents here are closed in these 5 doors. And there's a CO2 generator in each of them. And these 4 are set to produce meat as long as we have less than 30 artificial meat in all of them. So that means we have 8 beds growing artificial meat. We have 4 large storages, which I haven't really bothered doing any kind of prioritizing on. We have a med bay room here, where I should build another medical bed, but I haven't gotten around to that. We have the industrial room here, with 2 doors on this side and 1 door on this side. And for those of you who noticed in the last episode, yes, I am quite aware of the fact that I actually did a mistake in trying to use a spacesuit locker as a door, and I was wondering why one of the sides looked like that. That's not a door. The door is here. So you want to make sure that you use the doors. These do work either way, but the correct way to place them, as several people have pointed out, is with the arrow in towards the room that has bad conditions. In this case, this room, which is either way too hot, has no oxygen, or is way too cold, depending on what's going on in here. Then we have a toilet here. I couldn't get this toilet to have any kind of privacy for the people coming by here, because I can't build a wall there because of that door has those two spaces there. They do accept something on the wall, but they don't accept a wall there. This is the engine room, and in the middle here we have the recreation room. Do also note that these wall power nodes, they will happily walk over them, so you don't really need to pay special attention to them, but you cannot place them in front of a door. For some reason that is prohibited. There's 8 arcade machines in this room, 1 jukebox, 2 small storages, and these storages are prioritizing, so we are... No, that's the ship resource rules. Both of these have deny everything but food, and they have bring here on all of the food resources that I'm using, that is. I'm not using monster meat and I'm not using human meat, so... We have 3 more toilets here, so the ship has 4 toilets, which is good, I've noticed. It has severely helped with Wally's inclinations to... well, you know what. And in addition, Wally is the resident miner this time around too, which is just a funny coincidence, really. Another thing that I would like to mention, as you can see, is that we have plenty of resources this time. Efficient resource management, shorter ways to walk is definitely helping a great deal. But in the crew management, you can see how well equipped someone is to do a certain job. Arakel is quite the guy. 3 construct, 3 medical, 3 shielding, 3 operations, and 3 navigation. I guess that means he's good at maintenance as well, because he's good at construction. But as you can see, what I've done here is that I've actually set this right click, or you left click to increase, you right click to decrease. The ones with less than 3 dots in these things, I've actually denied the option to go do that. That is because I would always want to have the best possible navigator, gunner, shield operator, and operations or communications officer. Same in medical. I've denied Ms. Matrix the ability to become or to help people. Sorry about that, Miss. Because Arakel is a superior doctor at 3 skill. Botany, we have 4 people with 3 dots in botany, which that has massively helped with our food production. But I've also denied Wally the option of actually doing botany, because why on earth would we want... If I had 1 3 and 1 2, then I wouldn't deny the 2, but in this case, having 4 people with skill 3 means that we can afford the luxury to only have those perform botanical work. Construction, I do not deny people the ability to do that, even though they have just 1 or 2 dots, but the game automatically sets it to the lowest priority for the ones with 1 dot, sets it to normal priority for the ones with 2, and high, not maximum, but high priority for the ones with 3. Maintenance follows construction. Mining, Wally has 3 skill points in mining. Arakel, I should probably deny Arakel the option to mine. So Peps and Wally will be our miners. And for industry, if I had had more than just Sydney being a good industrial operator, then I would have denied Catherine and Miz the option to operate the industrial machinery, because the higher the skill, the less chance of this happening. That machine is currently broken down and needs maintenance. Also, there is much less risk of fire, which is why I've denied Peps and Wally and Arakel the ability to use the industrial equipment, because, well, Wally with 1 dot, that would be a disaster. Everyone has high priority on logistics, which I would say is necessary, so I've left the schedule as is. However, the game, or rather tips that I've seen, recommends that you have a night shift and a day shift when you have more than 6 crew members. I probably might consider putting 4 of them on day and 4 of them on night shift, but I haven't seen the point in doing so yet. As for our resources, that would equal 270 energy rods, so in effect we have 300 energy rods, which is a little bit more efficient than in the previous playthrough. And water as well, we have 270 of that? No. Yeah, this is 210, 240 of that, so that also helps. We have plenty of hyperfuel, and we also have 10 Hyperium lying around, so there is no danger there. The only thing that I need to do is build another hyperdrive, really, to get the mass under control. The factory room has 1 of each facility, and one thing that I have done differently this time is that instead of having to go here all the time, I've just set the most important ones to do if less than. So this one will produce chemicals as long as I have less than 20. This one will produce up to 10 energy blocks and tech blocks. So as long as I have less than 10, it will automatically do that. This one, for energy cells, I will actually remove that and set it to 20 now that we have 4 energy turrets. This one produces energy rods if we have less than 40. We produce water if we have less than 30, but I want to change that to 50 actually. I've also set the what that was set on customs logistics priority to the highest for water and energy rods. Have the equipment fabricator here, haven't used that yet. The metal refinery, I'm not doing anything automatic on that one, nor am I making any kind of scrap automatically, nor am I making any blocks automatically. Those I want to control myself. But I am producing electronics components if I have less than 20, and I'm producing optronics components if I have less than 10, because you need optronics components for the tech blocks, so I always want to have 10 of those around. So yeah, I believe that's a fairly good tour of the ship. I have oxygen generators and scrubbers in here, but I also have them in here, and I have the tools facility in here. I also have a lot less light around the ship. So if you look at the comfort, this room has very high comfort, which of course is the point, because this is a recreation room. Row rooms and the medical room is okay-ish. The generator room and the shuttle bay and the industrial room obviously is not that good, including the engine room. It's not that good of comfort near the toilet areas either. Oh, that's the light thing. But the rest of the ship, well, the power generator actually does create some discomfort here, but they're not really that often in the cryobeds anyways. As for this room, it might need some more light, but they only go there to refill the thing with those energy cells anyway, so I don't think it's a big issue. Bridge also has a little bit of comfort, but the main important thing is that the bedrooms have 10 comfort and 7 on the beds. And that the recreational room or area has the highest possible comfort you can get, which helps a lot. The jukebox does give a lot more comfort than the arcade machine, but I don't think we want to have another jukebox. That would be wasteful. So here we are in this system. Now everyone is asleep, of course. We just need to let them wake up. Temperature in there could probably be handled better. I haven't noticed that, so I guess we should build temperature regulator in the or 2 in the generator room. No, I can't build them. 1 should be enough, I think. Other than that, this room is cold when it's not in use, but when people start working in here, the heat will rise dramatically in that room. Power, I have a fairly okay grid. Not that happy about this place, but the generators seem to be better when they are placed in the middle of the ship, or at least near the center of the ship, than they were when they were at the end, because then these things up here would struggle. I have 3 of the batteries around the industrial facility, and that has been enough. So I guess things were just being horribly inefficient in my last playthrough. I don't have any isolated areas. Oxygen is above 160 on all of the ship parts except for the... no, it's actually... Yeah, up here it's not, but that's fine because there is no immediate issue with oxygen being in that level. There is no smoke, there is no hazardous gases, but this ship, or this room will of course have hazardous gases every now and then. But I do have a scrubber here. Vents. I've closed the ones to the grow rooms, otherwise the rest of them are open. There's an incoming ship from the Military Alliance. Before we head on into the system, I think I want to trade with them. Fire. Well, it was probably in this room, so I don't think it's an issue. Yeah, it was the electronics fabricator. The MAS Starship Pesonen. Okay, or Pesonen. They don't really have anything that I particularly want to trade. They have a bit of money that I could grab my hands on, though. I tried to sell the perishables, like fruit, but there's no reason not to buy back water, since that's going to be necessary for growing more fruit. Other than that, I suppose I could sell some energium, but I'm not really comfortable selling that. No, I think we're fine here. Let's trade that 1 trade. I think I ended up with... No, there was 2 trades, I mean. Sorry. That was one of them done. And then everybody went back to bed, so we have to wait for them to wake up. Did find some data logs along the way, but I'm not sure if I've read them. This one seems familiar. Entry 2. That's familiar as well. It's definitely familiar. Ah, this one we haven't read before. Keepers of the Flames. Victor's friends could have been anything. Pirates, slavers. Instead they turned out to be some of the nicest folks I've ever met. That's actually quite surprising. I expected them to be pirates or something. I guess the apocalypse just can't take the shine of some people. Nice, but not pushovers. I wouldn't want to be the pirate that messes with the crew of the Second Chance. We teamed up. Where we go, they go. Everything gets split 50-50, and if one crew's a little short on supplies, the other crew's there for them. It sounds a lot simpler than it is, but it works. I'll choose a negotiation over a gunfight every time. It's already paid off too. I'm pretty sure that ship we were seeing for the last 4 or 5 jumps was stalking us. Since we teamed up with the second chance, they've vanished. So, we're going to keep doing what we are doing. Follow the resources. I hear other crews have big ideas about searching for a new homeworld or alien life or whatever. They are welcome to it. All I care about is keeping me and mine alive and honest. All other concerns are secondary. Sandy said she had some friends on another ship that might be out this way. It worked out well enough with a second chance, so yeah, maybe we should go see if the crew of Perfect Ship version 3.0 live up to their sense of humor. So long as they can pull their weight, they'll be welcome. The Apocalypse... yeah, that's... Tranquility, I believe we actually finished the Tranquility. We did get the first of the Mary Shelley data log in the last one. Let's go on to entry 2. Fearless and therefore powerful. Leaving Earth behind was not as easy as I thought it would be. That's home, after all. The cradle of humanity, blasted and ruined though it is. We threw a leaving party. Fletcher actually had a bottle of whiskey, which he was glad to share. Not good whiskey, but the first alcohol I've had in a long time. We stood there and said our goodbyes, or, well, tried to. I think we were still trying to decide on a toast when we clearly saw a flash somewhere along the west coast of North America. A nuke. Hard to imagine there's anything left in California that's worth nuking, but... Anderson's toast was to those poor bloody souls down there, and that was it. He spooled up the hyperdrive and left. We hopped a few systems over, stopping only to mine whatever we could find. Didn't bother the other ships. We've heard stories of some crews going rogue, turning to piracy or slavery. We're academics, not fighters. Best to keep a low profile. After a dozen jumps or so, we found a particularly promising system. Lots of resources with not far to jump to get more. No other ships in sight. We took a vote and decided to build a small observatory station. Chase and Ray designed a telescope and then came up with a very appropriate name for it. The Big Exoplanet and Anomaly Survey Telescope, or BEAST. Very apt for a ship named after the author of Frankenstein. What none of us expected was how quickly it would find an anomaly. We barely had to turn it on before it told us where to find, well, something. Honestly, these readings don't make any sense at all. I certainly can't think of any natural phenomenon that would produce data like these. Which of course leads the mind to imagine an unnatural phenomenon, but no human ship would produce these kinds of readings either. Could it be? And we'll leave entry 3 and 4 for later. So they've woken up. Let's prepare for a hyperjump as soon as they are done with their break. And jump. Pirates already? So this is an end system. Let's go in and start from the inside and go back towards the beginning. Probably have to deal with the pirates along the way as well. And in case anyone is wondering, no, I am not using any of the mods that I was talking about in the end of the last episode of the last series. So this is still unmodded. Okay, Catherine, Ms, Peps and Tunefix, that's our team of trusted warriors. Let's mine the ice. Might as well take the Energium as well, of course. That's a very big ship there. Should check out these guys before we do anything. Energy cells. That's something that I'm definitely interested in buying. What do you guys want? Yeah, let's sell them some energium. I don't think we need that much of it. And we're getting 9 of it here. So that's fine. We're still paying in excess, so... And they have a lot of money there. Note that if you buy something below 10, it will disappear from the trade. So if I, for instance, wanted this water, I would have to buy 3 first and then 10 afterwards. Probably mentioned that in the last playthrough. They do want fruit. Let's sell them some fruit. And we can also sell them some electronics components. We can sell them some fabrics as well, just to make sure that we try to empty their reserves of money. And a couple of hull blocks. The difference here is 99. Yeah, let's do it like that then. And then we need to select the shuttle with the people inside. Not there, there. Let's dock up here. Boom. And Tunefix is the one with bloodlust, so he can go out first. And we have biters. Oh, it's probably relevant to mention that I'm playing on peaceful instead of builder, so we might encounter more of these derelicts without monsters on board, or aliens. Apparently there's a lot of monsters on this vessel. I might want to build another medbed, because this ship is the worst infested ship I've seen so far. In this playthrough, that is. Yikes, there is many of those. Peps apparently pooped his pants. That was a good fortuitous move of me. Yeah, Catherine needs a medical bed. Hey, guys, you need to move inside the room. These things keep spawning the biters, so can I get up there? They need oxygen as well soon. Okay, let's go back and get O2. Good. There's a data pad down here, but I also seem to recall there was a monster thing. New data log. This is really the worst infestation I think we didn't see an infestation this bad in the last playthrough either. Let's dock that at the airlock. And again, this ship did have a lot of stuff. Guessing this is the bathroom? No, it's a bedroom. The Hyperion. Good timing there. Want to transfer everything, of course, and I need to build another medical bay. Or medical bed. Of course, this lamp is in the way, so we need to move that first. High construct priority, please. Now we can build a medical bed. There we go. Dr. von Arakel is helping out here. Good. How long are you going to be? 19 hours. Wow. That was a nasty bite. I think we need some IV fluids. Let's make 10 of those. Yeah. I think someone was playing Legendary Pants. We're done trading. We haven't mined all of the ice yet, though. Our logistics system is of course completely overwhelmed, which is to be expected with the transfer and the trade happening all at once. And our second medical bed is up and running. What's the comfort like in the medical area? Yeah, the metal refinery does affect it a little bit, but it's okay. I could move the door over there, but that would mess with my power link system. I've tried to the best of my ability to make that on straight lines. Not that I've been very successful with it, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose I could move it. And it would make sense to do so, actually. Give them a slightly longer route to walk, but that's fine. How are we doing with the transfer? We're almost done. Let's dismantle this door. And then let's dismantle this wall, and let us build an energy node in the floor before we dismantle the other one. This one I want to be on high construct priority. Now we want to build an X1 wall there and an X1 door there. There we go. Now we have to unlink this one and link this one instead, and then we can dismantle that. There we go. And now let's build the medical bed there. And then there. Any patient there won't be bothered by a metal refinery on the other side of the wall. The comfort should be, yep, much better. Much, much better. I think we're nearing the end of the episode, so let's go read entry 3 of the IRS Mary Shelley. Determined heart and resolved will. First contact. I still can't believe it really happened. We've found the first truly hard physical evidence of a non-human civilization. A spaceship. Sadly, it was derelict, and there was no sign of the crew. We have formulated some theories about what they may have looked like based on the furniture, and they definitely weren't humanoid. Anderson thinks they may have been quadrupedal? Quadrupedal? Yeah, I think so. We're trying to guess how old the wreck might be, but failing. How do you begin dating something from another planet? Impossible. There wasn't enough organic matter aboard the ship for radiometric dating, and even if there was, we don't have the necessary baseline information for an alien world. It could be thousands of years old for all we know. Tens of thousands. The people who built it might all be gone. Who knows? Maybe the apocalypse is something that happens to every species in time. There was one light in the darkness, though. Literally. A single functioning powered piece of technology. It's bigger than 2 men. We had to literally strap it to the shuttle to bring it back over to the Mary Shelley, but it's here now, sitting in the middle of our deck. We have no idea where to even begin. We're going to do our best, I guess, and our best is very, very good. Speaking of which, I won't learn anything if I sit here complaining into my log, will I? Up and at 'em! Park! There's science to do! Somehow, I don't think that is going to end well. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the episode and that you will enjoy this new series as well. I'm not really sure if I should use pause more often when we're just waiting for things to come in. Please leave some feedback. I am recording 2 episodes for now. So from episode 3 and onwards, your feedback, if I get enough of it, will definitely be valued on this. So, see you all in the next episode.